Welcome back to the channel Rare Coins History, Coin Collectors and History Aficionados. Today, we're zeroing in on a coin that often slips under the radar but holds surprising interest and value, the United States Roosevelt 1 dime from 1991, complete with its mint mark. You might be thinking, a dime from 1991? That sounds pretty common. But trust me, there's more to this little coin than meets the eye. So sit tight as we unravel the fascinating history, unique features, and potential worth of the 1991 Roosevelt dime. By the end of this video, you'll be seeing that small piece of silver-colored metal in a whole new light. Let's start by exploring the origins and significance of the Roosevelt dime itself. Introduced in 1946, the Roosevelt dime was created to honor Franklin Delano Roosevelt, the 32nd President of the United States, who led the country through some of its toughest times, including the Great Depression and World War II. Roosevelt was also instrumental in founding the March of Dimes, a campaign to fight polio, a disease he personally battled. The dime's introduction was a tribute to his legacy, and its design has remained largely consistent over the decades. The 1991 Roosevelt dime, minted during a relatively stable period in U.S. history, might appear modest but holds a rich context. The early 90s was a time of technological advancements, economic shifts, and cultural changes. While the world was rapidly evolving, the dime remained a steady symbol of American resilience and pride. The mint mark on the 1991 dime, found just to the right of the torch on the reverse side, identifies which mint produced the coin: Philadelphia, no mint mark; Denver, D, or San Francisco, S. These mint marks aren't just identifiers, they play a crucial role in a coin's collectability and value. Certain mint locations produced fewer coins or had slight variations, making those coins more coveted by collectors. For the 1991 Roosevelt dime, the mint marks can influence the rarity, especially if the coin is in uncirculated or proof condition. Moving on to the design, the obverse side features the familiar, dignified portrait of President Roosevelt, designed by John R. Sinek. The reverse showcases the Torch of Liberty, flanked by an olive branch symbolizing peace and an oak branch signifying strength and independence. This imagery communicates the core American ideals and the enduring spirit that the coin represents. Now, although the 1991 Roosevelt dime was produced in the millions, the market for these coins is influenced heavily by condition, rarity, and unique minting errors. Most dimes you'll find in circulation have considerable wear, diminishing their value to face value or just a small premium. However, coins that have been carefully preserved or professionally graded can fetch much higher prices. Collectors pay close attention to the proof coins minted at San Francisco and other special editions. These proofs are struck with polished dies and receive extra care, resulting in a coin with a mirror-like finish and sharp details. A 1991 proof dime with the S mint mark, preserved in pristine condition, can stand out as a valuable collectible. Moreover, minting errors, such as double dies, off-center strikes, or missing mint marks, are also highly sought after in the coin community. These anomalies are relatively rare and can dramatically increase a coin's value. If you have a 1991 Roosevelt dime exhibiting any unusual characteristics, it's a good idea to have it examined by a professional. It's worth mentioning the metal composition as well. The 1991 Roosevelt dime is composed primarily of copper and nickel clad over a copper core, marking a shift from the silver dimes produced prior to 1965. While it doesn't have intrinsic precious metal value like older dimes, its worth comes from rarity, condition, and collector demand. So, how much is a 1991 Roosevelt dime with a mint mark worth? While most 1991 dimes may only be worth their face value or a small premium if in uncirculated condition, some exceptional specimens, especially those with rare mint marks, proof finishes, or minting errors, have been known to reach impressive valuations. In fact, a pristine 1991 Roosevelt dime with certain unique features can command a price as high as $44,000. It's astonishing to realize that a coin you might find in your pocket or jar could be worth tens of thousands of dollars if it has the right attributes. So, next time you come across a 1991 Roosevelt dime, take a closer look. You might be holding a small piece of history with significant value. Today, we're zooming in on a seemingly ordinary but surprisingly intriguing piece, the United States Roosevelt I dime from 2008, complete with its mint mark. At first glance, it might just look like your everyday dime, but hang on, because this coin has a story and value that might just blow your mind. So stick around as we explore the history, design, unique features, and most importantly, the potential worth of this 2008 Roosevelt dime. Trust me, by the end of this video, you'll be looking at this dime in a whole new way. First off, let's dive into the background of the Roosevelt dime itself. This dime was first introduced in 1946, a tribute to Franklin D. Roosevelt, the 32nd President of the United States. Roosevelt's legacy is deeply tied to the fight against polio through the March of Dimes campaign, which makes this coin more than just currency. It's a symbol of hope, determination, and leadership. Since its inception, the Roosevelt dime has been a staple in American coinage, maintaining its classic design while quietly witnessing decades of change in the country. Now, the 2008 dime comes at an interesting point in recent history. The United States was going through significant economic shifts, the financial crisis was brewing, technology was advancing rapidly, and the world was watching closely. Even in times of uncertainty, coins like the Roosevelt dime continued to circulate as symbols of stability and tradition. When you hold a 2008 Roosevelt dime, the first thing you'll notice is the mint mark. The mint mark is a tiny letter located on the obverse side of the coin, near the torch and under the date, indicating where the coin was produced. For 2008, the three main mints producing dimes were Philadelphia, no mint mark, Denver, D, and San Francisco, S. Each mint has its own subtle differences and mintages that collectors pay close attention to. Speaking of design, the obverse of the coin features a detailed portrait of Franklin D. Roosevelt designed by John R. Sinek. It captures Roosevelt's determined expression and dignified presence. On the reverse, you'll see the Torch of Liberty at the center, flanked by an olive branch on the left and an oak branch on the right, representing peace, victory, and strength. This imagery perfectly encapsulates the values America holds dear. Now, what makes the 2008 Roosevelt dime so interesting from a collector's perspective isn't just its history or design, but the variety and rarity of certain mint marks and editions. While most of these coins circulated widely, many were quickly used and lost in pockets or coin jars. That's why coins in pristine, uncirculated condition are becoming increasingly rare and highly prized by collectors. One area where value really skyrockets is with special proof coins or coins with mint errors. Proof coins, typically produced at the San Francisco Mint, have a mirror-like finish and sharper details, created with extra care to appeal to collectors. A 2008 proof dime with the S mint mark, especially if graded highly by a professional service, is much more valuable than a standard circulated dime. Error coins, meanwhile, are fascinating anomalies. These might include double dies where parts of the design are stamped twice, off-center strikes, missing mint marks, or unusual metal compositions. Such errors are rare and often cause a coin's value to soar because collectors love owning something unique, a one-of-a-kind artifact from the minting process. Another aspect to consider is the coin's metal composition. Unlike older dimes that were composed primarily of silver, the 2008 Roosevelt dime is made from a clad composition of copper and nickel. While this means it doesn't have the intrinsic silver value of earlier coins, its worth comes from rarity, condition, and collector demand rather than metal content. So, how much can a 2008 Roosevelt dime with a mint mark be worth? The typical coin you find in circulation is worth just its face value or a little more if in uncirculated condition. But those special coins, rare mint marks, proof coins, or error coins, can command astonishing prices. In fact, a perfect condition 2008 Roosevelt dime with certain rare features or mint errors can reach a value as high as $36,000. Can you imagine that? A small dime you might have tossed into a jar or found in your pocket could actually be worth tens of thousands of dollars if it's the right one. That's the magic of coin collecting, the thrill of discovering a hidden treasure in plain sight. Today, we're shining the spotlight on a coin that might look pretty ordinary to the untrained eye but holds a lot of fascination for collectors, the United States Roosevelt I dime from the year 2000, complete with its mint mark. Whether you're a seasoned numismatist or just someone curious about coins, stick around because this little dime has more to it than meets the eye. By the end of this video, you'll understand why certain 2000 Roosevelt dimes can be worth a staggering $39,000. Let's start with a bit of background. The Roosevelt dime was first introduced in 1946 to honor President Franklin D. Roosevelt, a man who left a lasting legacy, especially in his fight against polio and his establishment of the March of Dimes Foundation. Since then, this dime has become one of the most recognizable coins in American currency, featuring Roosevelt's profile on the front and symbolic images on the back that capture American ideals. Now, the year 2000 was the dawn of a new millennium, a time full of excitement and change. Technology was advancing rapidly, the internet was becoming a household staple, and the United States was navigating its role on the global stage in a new century. Amid all this, the humble Roosevelt dime continued to be minted and circulated, a symbol of continuity and stability through changing times. When examining a 2000 Roosevelt dime, one of the first details collectors look for is the mint mark. The mint mark is a tiny letter stamped near the date on the coin's obverse side, indicating where the coin was produced. For the year 2000, coins were minted primarily at Philadelphia, no mint mark, Denver, D, and San Francisco, S. Each of these mints has unique production numbers and slight variations that can make certain coins much more valuable to collectors. The design itself is classic. Roosevelt's dignified profile graces the front, designed by John R. Sinek, capturing both the seriousness and compassion of this influential president. On the reverse, the torch symbolizes liberty, flanked by an olive branch representing peace and an oak branch symbolizing strength and independence. This design, unchanged for decades, evokes deep American values, but what really makes the 2000 Roosevelt dime special in the collector's world isn't just the date or the mint mark, it's the condition and rarity of certain issues from that year. Most of these dimes were produced in vast numbers and entered everyday circulation, so the majority are worth just their face value. However, coins that have been preserved in pristine, uncirculated condition or that come from limited mintage batches can be incredibly valuable. Proof coins from the San Francisco Mint, for instance, are made with exceptional care, resulting in a mirror-like finish and highly detailed design. These coins are produced for collectors and are not intended for general circulation. If you happen to own a 2000 Roosevelt dime proof with the S mint mark and it's in flawless condition, it could already be worth significantly more than a standard dime. Now, let's talk about one of the most exciting aspects of coin collecting: minting errors. These are coins that, due to some mishap during the minting process, have anomalies like double dies, off-center strikes, or missing mint marks. Such errors are rare, and collectors prize them highly because they're one-of-a-kind imperfections that make a coin truly unique. The 2000 Roosevelt dime has several known error varieties that, when found in excellent condition, can command extraordinary prices. It's also worth noting the metal composition. Unlike earlier dimes which contained silver, the 2000 Roosevelt dime is made from a clad composition of copper and nickel. While this means it doesn't have the intrinsic value of precious metals, its worth is driven almost entirely by collector demand, condition, rarity, and any unique features it may have. So what kind of value are we talking about here? Most 2000 Roosevelt dimes you'll find in your pocket or coin jars are worth their face value, or maybe a bit more if they're in uncirculated condition. But those rare, perfectly preserved proof dimes or error coins with a mint mark from 2000? They can be worth up to $39,000, yes, you heard that right, $39,000 for a single dime that many people might just overlook as everyday pocket change. This is the thrill and magic of numismatics, the hidden treasures waiting to be discovered in the coins we see every day. Today, we're shining the spotlight on a seemingly ordinary but surprisingly interesting coin, the United States Roosevelt $1 dime from 2013, featuring its mint mark. This dime may look familiar, but believe me, there's a lot more to it than meets the eye. Stick around until the end because you'll be shocked to learn just how much a 2013 Roosevelt dime can be worth under the right circumstances. Let's start by setting the scene. The Roosevelt dime has been a staple in American currency since its introduction in 1946, created to honor Franklin D. Roosevelt, the beloved 32nd President of the United States. Known for his leadership through the Great Depression and World War II, Roosevelt's legacy also includes the March of Dimes, a foundation dedicated to combating polio, a cause very close to his heart. Fast forward to 2013. This was a year that represented the continuation of modern American coinage, but also a time when the U.S. Mint was producing billions of coins each year to keep up with the demands of commerce. The 2013 Roosevelt dime carries on the classic design, featuring Roosevelt's profile on the obverse and the iconic torch, olive branch, and oak branch on the reverse, symbolizing liberty, peace, and strength. While the design has remained consistent, the mint marks on these coins tell a story of where each piece was produced. In 2013, dimes were struck at the Philadelphia, No mint mark, Denver, D, and San Francisco, S, mints. The mint mark, a tiny letter near the date, is a crucial identifier for collectors, as coins from different mints can have varying rarity and value. At first glance, a 2013 Roosevelt dime might seem common. After all, millions were minted. But what separates the ordinary from the extraordinary are a few key factors: condition, rarity, and unique minting variations. Most 2013 dimes you find in circulation are worth just their face value. However, coins that have been preserved in pristine, uncirculated condition, or those with unique mint marks or error features, can be worth a significant premium. Proof coins from the San Francisco Mint, for example, are specially struck to produce a mirror-like finish and exceptional detail. These coins are made primarily for collectors, not for general circulation, making them rarer and more desirable. A 2013 proof dime with an S mint mark, especially one in perfect condition, already has a collectible edge over its circulating counterparts, but there's more. In the world of coin collecting, minting errors are the holy grail. These errors occur when something goes wrong during the coin production process, maybe a doubled die, a misaligned strike, or even an incorrect mint mark. Such anomalies are rare and coveted because they make the coin truly one of a kind. The 2013 Roosevelt dime has been documented to have some notable error varieties that, if found, could be worth a small fortune. It's also important to mention the metal composition of the 2013 dime. Unlike the silver dimes minted before 1965, these modern dimes are made of a copper core clad by nickel. This means they don't have intrinsic precious metal value, but their worth comes from scarcity and collector demand rather than metal content. So, what does this mean for you if you find a 2013 Roosevelt dime? Most likely, it's worth just 1 cent. But if you've got a pristine, uncirculated proof with a rare mint mark or an error variety in your collection, hold on tight because its value can skyrocket. To give you a sense of scale, some of these exceptional 2013 Roosevelt dimes have been known to fetch prices as high as $45,000 in the collector market. Yes, $45,000 for a single dime. This just goes to show that even the smallest coins can hide incredible value, if you know what to look for. So next time you're sorting through change, keep an eye out for that tiny mint mark and those rare variations. You never know, you might just have a treasure in your pocket. Today, we're embarking on an exciting journey into the world of American coinage, focusing on a coin that might seem everyday at first glance, but hold surprising value and fascinating details beneath its surface. We're talking about the United States Roosevelt 1 dime from 1996, complete with its mint mark. Whether you're a seasoned numismatist or a casual collector, this coin has a story that you won't want to miss. Let's rewind and explore the background first. The Roosevelt dime has been a consistent presence in American currency since 1946, created to honor Franklin D. Roosevelt, the 32nd President of the United States. Known for his leadership during the Great Depression and World War II, Roosevelt also championed the March of Dimes, a foundation focused on combating polio, a disease that personally affected him. The dime's design reflects this legacy, with Roosevelt's dignified profile gracing the obverse side, symbolizing perseverance and hope. Now, zooming in on 1996, a year when the U.S. Mint was producing vast numbers of coins to meet everyday demands. The 1996 Roosevelt dime was struck at multiple mints, each marked by a tiny letter, P for Philadelphia, D for Denver, and S for San Francisco. The mint mark is a small detail, yet it plays a critical role in a coin's collectability and value. Some mint marks are far more common, while others are rarer, creating a spectrum of desirability among collectors. What sets the 1996 Roosevelt dime apart from other coins minted that year? For starters, the sheer volume means most dimes ended up in circulation, exposed to wear and tear. However, there are those that survived in exceptional, uncirculated condition or especially minted proof coins, often from the San Francisco Mint. These coins boast a mirror-like finish and sharp details, highly prized by collectors. In addition to pristine condition, minting errors from 1996 add another layer of intrigue and value. Errors can include double strikes, off-center strikes, or variations in the mint mark placement or appearance. These anomalies occur due to slight mechanical missteps during production but create unique coins that stand out in any collection. Collectors treasure these quirks because they're rare and unpredictable, turning what might be an ordinary dime into a valuable and fascinating piece of history. Let's talk composition for a moment. The 1996 Roosevelt dimes, like most dimes after 1965, are made of a copper core with a nickel outer layer, known as cupronickel. This means they don't have intrinsic precious metal value like the silver dimes from earlier decades, so their worth primarily comes from rarity, condition, and collector demand rather than metal content. So, what's the real value here? If you happen to find a 1996 Roosevelt dime that is uncirculated and comes from one of the less common mints, or better yet, a proof with an exceptional mint mark or a rare minting error, you could be sitting on a coin that's worth a lot more than just 10 cents, believe it or not. These prized 1996 Roosevelt dimes have been known to fetch prices up to $52,000 in the collector's market. Yes, $52,000 for a dime that most people see as everyday pocket change. This astounding value is a testament to the importance of mint marks, condition, and rare variations in the fascinating world of numismatics. So, next time you're sifting through coins, pay close attention to those little details: the mint mark, the coin's condition, and any unusual features. You never know, you might have a rare gem hiding in plain sight. Thank you for joining me on this deep dive into the 1996 Roosevelt dime. If you found this exploration fascinating, please like the video, subscribe to the channel for more in-depth coin stories, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any future coin treasures. Have questions or want me to explore other coins? Drop a comment below. I love hearing from fellow coin enthusiasts. Until next time, keep hunting, stay curious, and happy collecting.